All right, so let's get to creating.
Okay.
What is the #1 effect you would like to try?
At first I need some kind of distortion. Or let's say overdrive first, not so heavy distorted.
A chill overdrive, and you would like to go out in stereo, right?
Yeah. Okay, let's see how it sounds. Crank it up a little. Can you crank it up a little bit more?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
We can sweep the tone, we can do a lot of stuff.
Cool. So I think next we should have some kind of octave down mixed into it.
All right, so would you just like a straight up octave down all the time kind of?
Add it to the original signal.
Add it to the original one. All right, so what we can do is we just grab the drop. Let's just put it in a high fidelity.
Mm-hmm.
We set it an octave down. Oop, one more.
Yeah.
And we can just connect it in parallel.
Ah, okay.
And done.
Okay, now let's put this behind the driver. We should use it after the distortion.
All right, let's do it.
So this is okay. I haven't thought about the idea just to like virtually just splitting the waves.
Yeah, you can split it as many times as you want. You could even be like, oh, let's also do an octave up. Oops. And you can run it all in parallel. So right now we have the distortion, plus down, plus up.
Sounds good.
That's a mean tone.
Yeah, that's really good. So and if we now would add a little bit of fuzz.
So what kind of fuzz would you like? Are we talking more like a big muff kind of fuzz?
No, it's funny because I started out, my first fuzz was actually the fuzz phase. I still have it somewhere here.
We have some fuzz phases.
So cool.
Would you like one that's kind of like the Jimi Hendrix fuzz phase, or kind of one with we have one which is called the Fuller mod, so it has a couple of popular mods that
No, just straight.
The straight up classic.
Yeah.
All right. So let's put it after, and then do we want all of it through the fuzz, or
let's
just
try all of it?
all of it? All right, let's do it. So then let's just grab these cables, patch this in here. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. That sounds really close to the idea. And now we should have something which cuts off.
Do you think we should cut it in the beginning? Or do you think you would like to have it at the end
The
as well?
thick thing should be cut.
Would you like more something kind of like an auto type thing, or something where you have a bit more control over the filter itself?
Yeah, a little bit more control.
All right, then let's get the Calf envelope filter. It's a pretty wild one. We can choose all sorts of filters, or we can keep it kind of simple.
No simple here.
No simplicity. We're going full crazy today.
Yeah.
All right. So, are we thinking like maybe a bandpass type thing?
Yeah, let's try the bandpass.
A bit here.
That sounds good. It already sounds really like a Daft Punk sound. Now you told me that there are lots of like modulation ways. Let's see if we can modulate some of those parameters you just tweak by hand.
Maybe we can get a clock to generate a random signal, and then it just randomizes a parameter.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see what's happening. Yeah.
Cool. So we get a CV clock, which we feed into. Let's find it. The random generator. Hell yeah. That's what we want. And we want to have a pulse, trigger that.
Yeah.
And we want to generate a value between 0 and 10 volts. Then we can make this available. And we call this random. So now what we can do is we can assign that to anything here.
Just let's try first like some manual tweaking. Maybe you can just tweak it while I'm playing.
Sure.
Yeah, that's nice, but this should be if there's something more drastic.
Maybe the attack could work, or we could also change the lower frequency where the filter ends.
Yeah.
So
Let's try this.
So let's put this on our random source.
Ah, okay. This is how it works. So, okay.
And now you can see it's jumping around, it's jumping around. Let's just make sure that we're going in unipolar mode from 0 to 10 volts.
Ah, okay.
So now it's jumping all over.
Okay, and now let's apply some kind of like a reverb thing.
Shimmer?
Yeah.
We can grab you a nice little Reverb. It's actually made by one of our former interns, Nino, and he makes some really cool plugins. He makes all of them in Max.
Okay.
You said you were also quite interested in Max yourself, right? So this is a patch that's originally a Max patch, and he turned it into a wonderful, wonderful Shimmer reverb. I think it sounds really good.
Yeah, that's actually stuff I like. It's because it's some kind of drone. It's had so much like unpredictable things in it. Yeah, so we have our first pedalboard, I would say.
One important thing to do at the end is to decide like what would you like to control of this, right? Like, are there some parameters of this board that you would like to like turn off, turn on?
If it's possible to control the amount of randomness what we have through those CV thing.
Yeah, so let's assign the minimum and maximum values of our random generator and go from there, right? So maybe we put it on the first page, the randomness. So let's call it random or R&D min, and R&D max maybe.
Yeah.
So we have R&D min, and we have R&D max. So we have them here now.
Ah, okay.
So if we would put both on 10.
Apply the speed of this.
For sure, yeah, we can assign the clock rate. Maybe we can do it on the same page. So I'll take out the current assignment on the third one.
Yeah.
And we just add the speed there. So we go to the clock and we choose the division here. And we do that on knob 3. Would you like it to be synchronized to the host tempo by any chance? So that if you do any kind of tap tempo on the device, it changes it as well?
Yeah.
Let's do that quickly. So now from here you have a division.
Yeah, I see. monster. It's,
It's cool. No, I think it's a cool result so far.
so this is our first page. So
Yeah, so we have main pages and we have
Yeah.
sub pages.
Ah, okay.
So the main page, it applies to everything on the device, so the foot switches and the knobs.
Okay.
The sub pages are for the knobs.
Okay.
So now we are on sub page 1, main page 1.
Yeah.
You can go to 2 to 3 and you see
Okay.
there's still spaces here to put extra parameters. So you mentioned the amount of reverb, so
Yeah.
maybe we can put the mix and the shimmer amount in there.
yeah.
And maybe also the interval could be a cool thing, because right now I set it to a fifth for you, but you can also
okay.
set it to plus an octave, minus a fifth, minus an octave.
Yeah, okay.
Do
Yeah.
some cool stuff with that. So maybe we call this, on the second page, we can have a shim mix. And we can have just shimmer. And we can have the interval. There we go.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
It's evil.
Yeah.
Would you also like maybe some stuff on the foot switches?
The fuzz, the envelope thing, and the Reverb should be on the foot switches. Yeah.
If you would like to have the octave up, octave down, and the fuzz as one effect,
Yeah.
we can put it in one bypass thing,
Yeah.
or
That's nice. Yeah.
something like that. So we have two options for that. One is I can put it kind of in a dry wet loop, and then you can bypass the entire loop. Another
Okay.
way is to create a macro.
Yeah.
In this case, because we split it into 3 signals, I
Yeah.
think it makes sense to create a specific loop for this,
Okay.
so that we don't mess with the gain staging too much. If we were to turn off, for example, the envelope filter and the reverb at the same time,
Yeah.
because they're serial, I think I would use a macro in that case. So maybe this time we create a little dry wet loop with the stereo X fade. This is a really useful utility plugin. I can highly recommend it. What you can do with this is feed the affected signal into the B input. It's the bottom two. Oop. Let me just make some space here. And then we can feed the dry signal into the A input. Oop. And then we feed this into the envelope. So now, besides having a bypass here, we can
Yeah.
even control the dry wet.
Ah, okay.
Right? So if you put it all the way to the right, to
Yeah.
the B side, it just lets through your effects chain. All the way to the left, completely bypasses it.
Okay.
And when you bypass the plugin,
Yeah.
it's as if it's all the way to the B side.
Ah, okay.
To the A side, sorry. So
So just crank it up and.
crank it up,
Yeah.
and then we can...
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
And then you were saying you would like to have maybe the filter.
Let's build a macro of the filter and the Reverb.
The way we do it is we can use these control voltage plugins for all sorts of stuff. So we have one called the control to CV. So we can just crank it, and when we bypass it, it sets it to the minimum value.
Okay.
Right? So we can use this. Let's make it available and call this macro 1. So now macro 1 is available, and we can assign it to the envelope filter. Done. And to the reverb. So CV, macro 1, done. Now we have this toggle here. Turns them off, turns them on.
That's perfect. Maybe we use a final equalizer to kind of tame the maximum low end, because I think like in studio work this could be completely fine, but sometimes with like real amplifier you have to be careful sometimes because there's real speakers in there.
Yeah, you don't want to kill them, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can put a little equalizer at the end. So yeah, let's do it. So you can just insert it here. And here we go. So maybe a little high pass then,
Yeah.
at like maybe 30 hertz, something like
Yeah.
that, 30, 40, kind of that
Yeah,
region.
well, like let's say 60, so we're on a complete. Because it still sounds good.
And maybe we also map the output gain. I think it's always useful to have a bit of extra control over that in case we ever need it. So let's just put that on the third subpage. Go just output gain. I don't think we need the full -40 +40 range. So let's maybe do, I don't know, -20 to +10 or something like that.
It sounds like, I don't know, like underground, like the subway, you know. When you're in those tunnels, you know, and this is really good.
So then maybe we can save this pedalboard and then create a couple of snapshots for it, so you can jump through them quickly. How would you like to call your creation of a patch?
Drone 1.
Drone 1. All right.
No, let's say drone 2, so everyone thinks there must be somewhere a drone 1.
That's a good one. Yeah. All right. Shall I tag it with your name real quick so you can find it easy afterwards? All right. So Andy Drone 2.
So this is our pedalboard.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we created a pedalboard now, which is basically our virtual gear setup. Right? So within this, we can still create snapshots, which are kind of like presets within the pedalboard, which save all the states of all the parameters. So we can create one now where we have a bit more reverb, or where we have a bit, I don't know, where we have the octaver enabled, where we have the deep hit enabled, one with aftermath off, one with it on.
Stuff
we can create a couple.
I think we should have simply one with only like the distortion, fuzz, and octaving thing.
So let's create it. So we enable the snapshots, and let's save this as, how would we call this snapshot? Maybe just deep hit. Right? And then let's just kill the default one, because all we need is deep hit.
So I think that then we should do a second one with only the aftermath.
All right. So this is aftermath.
We could also tweak the shear reverb for a snapshot.
Yeah, that's right. That's
okay.
Right.
Let's see what we have there.
We can cut lows. We can make the room bigger. We can give it a long decay.
And exactly. And if you also like, but this I could do here again.
The mix and the shimmer we have assigned there. Yeah. These lines? And do we also maybe want to have one where we combine the regular aftermath with the deep hit together? Like have the all-out one basically. So maybe we can load the regular aftermath then and just enable deep hit. And then we can save this as
all together.
Everything.
Everything.
Everything! Exclamation mark.
Okay.
Cool. So now we have them.
Yeah.
Let me just press save. And we can now even disconnect it and just use it from the device.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good moment to do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's kill it.
Yeah.